Hello and welcome to my tropical style garden here in mid-June. It's not very tropical today as it's been raining and it's fairly windy, but it's been a good day because I spent most of my morning plant shopping. So let's go down the bottom and have a look what I've brought. Before I go through the actual plants that I've brought, I just want to discuss why I've gone for them. So last year I was lucky enough to visit a couple of the best private gardens that I've ever visited, in Simon and Harriet's garden in Northamptonshire and Oak Barn Exotic Garden. I've also had the privilege and luck to visit a really good one again this year, and from all them gardens I was looking for inspiration to how to take my own garden to the next level and what they did that made them so good. So I've got Oak Barn Exotic Garden and I've got Simon and Harriet's garden on my channel. Please watch them. They are two of the best gardens out there in the UK. And one thing I got from both of them is that they used every bit of space. They had bromeliads on the trees, they had plants hanging, they had hanging baskets, they had climbers on the walls. They were really made the most of making every part of the garden interesting whichever way you looked. And I came back from them and felt this isn't something that I'm doing enough of. So I've been buying a few plants over the last few weeks, and today I spent most of the morning at Jersey Cottage Nursery, which is in South Lincolnshire, which is pretty much my most favourite nursery about. Great staff, absolutely great plants, couldn't recommend it enough. Well worth looking out, especially if you're in the area. Right, let's get on to the plants. So with what I've just said in mind, I've gone for things in the sense I've gone for climbers and I've gone for some ground cover, and I'm working on stuff that can hang from things as well. So first of all, I'm going to go for this plant, and this is, I've had this before and I don't know what I did with it years ago, but this is Phacedonia variegata, and basically it's a cross between a Phacedonia and an ivy. It doesn't really climb, it sort of sprawls up other plants, so it will need some sort of supporting. But I found that in the garden I've got lots of areas where I've got bare Trachycarpus trunks and things that I can sort of grow and slowly cover. So I wanted something that can deal with some of my shady conditions, and this was one of them. I'm also going to look out for the one with the camouflage type of variegation. I don't know if the name's changed, but I think it used to be called Phacedonia animicae, so I'm going to look out for that one as well, because that will really brighten up a couple of the palm trunks that I've got in the garden and add that little bit of extra interest. Right, excuse me, I'm going to have to go down here now. I'm not going to remember all the names of all these plants. A lot of these are quite new to me, but this is one, and I will sort of show the labels as well, so you can have a little bit more time to have a look at them if you want. Excuse if I don't say these names right, but we all know Latin isn't that easy. So Schizophragma hydrangenoides, I think that's right, or similar, quite close. Now let's get onto the leaves. Let's not worry about the name. Look at them, they are stunning. This is a climber, and it's hardy and does really well in semi-shade conditions, and I literally can't wait to watch it grow. I'm not dead sure where I'm going to put it yet, but I absolutely love the foliage on this. To get this sort of silvery sort of leaf that you can get in some sort of shady conditions, yeah, I'm gonna try and give it some sun, some shade. Hopefully that's ideally what it wants, and add a load of interest to one of my walls or one of my tree trunks. Really love it, well worth looking out for. Let's go on to this now, and this is, I'll get the label again to make it easier for you all. If I can zoom in, if I can't, I do apologise, because people keep putting leaves in the way. There we go. Terrace Umbrosa. This isn't making the best footage, I'm quite sure. So let's go back and look at the plant, because that's why you're here. So I've seen this in a couple of gardens, and I think it's relatively hardy. I think it needs a really protected area. I can't give you too much details because I've never grown it before, but absolutely love it. I think I might get another one, so I can plant this one outside and then get another one as a backup. But yeah, really unusual looking. Really like it. Let's go around here now. So this is a climber I see at a private garden recently that was absolutely stunning, and I loved it. Let's go in on the label. I'm not even going to try and say that. What is it? Parthenicis henriana. Yeah, not great, am I? Right, love the leaves on this. This will go well in a sort of shady area as well. Give it some sort of semi-shade, dapple shade. It's going to be quite a good climber. But look at them leaves, absolutely jungly. This isn't going to be the most informative video, so if you're watching it for that, I can't really tell you, because you're learning with me, because a lot of these are quite new plants to me. I've seen them, I've read them, I've asked questions about them, and that one's hardy. The Fatcedera is hardy. The Schizophragma is hardy. This might be hardy in a sheltered place. Hardiness is all relevant to how cold it is and where you live, obviously. So let's look at what else. So here we have Impatiens Omiana Sango, and this is going to be a ground covering plant. Add that little bit of colour, I should say. Another plant that I really like. It's obviously going to die back down for winter, but should come back every year, as long as it's sort of shady and there's some moisture in the ground. It should be good. Now, this is another ground cover plant. Really like this. I already grow two different versions of this Pachysandra, but this one is called Green Carpet, and I just love this sort of foliage. This will spread and slowly cover. It's hardy, it's evergreen, and if you've got a shady area and you're looking for ground cover, it's really going to sort of help add that sort of jungly look. Then what have I got? I've brought Aracema. This is Aracema speciosum, and this is magnificum. So as long as I give this quite free draining soil, this should, let's have a look at the stem as well. This should come back every year. I'll probably mulch it, but I'm going to put it in quite a gritty mix. There will be plenty of organic matter in there as well to help get it nice and big and strong, but I've got to make sure the drainage is really good, and hopefully in years to come these are going to get a lot bigger than that and look really sort of tropical. Okay, let's go on to this one. I'll try and come out a little bit. And this one looks like a stinging nettle, but obviously doesn't sting. And this is a Pilea, and this one is called Taiwan Silver. So this is going to die back for winter. It is hardy, got this lovely silvery bit of foliage, and possibly I might be able to plant it somewhere near the Schizophragma to sort of tie in with that silvery colour. We'll see, but this is going to sort of spread around, give me this bit of taller ground cover and give me the look I want. And this is another fern. I already have loads of these in the garden. I'll probably put some footage up if I can. This is a Polysticum polyblepharum, and like I say, I've got quite a few in the garden, and they look really good all year round. In a mild winter anyway, I'm not so sure in a really harsh winter, but this year they were the best looking fern come spring that I had left over. So I've added quite a few more of these for ground cover, so definitely one to look out for if you're trying to sort of add a bit of coverage on a shady floor. Right, so another plant I have bought, which I didn't get from Jersey Cottage Nursery and was massively on my wish list, is that one there, Schefflera macrophylla. And this was brought after seeing the one that was at Simon and Harriet's, which they kept in a pot in their garden. Absolutely loved it, and from that day I thought I'm gonna have to get one. Finally got round to getting one. Gonna keep that protected in the greenhouse until it gets bigger. I'm probably always going to keep it in a pot because it has a relatively a bit of cold tolerance about it, and can, you know, but the harsh winters are really going to be, you know, maybe do it in. So I'm going to be a bit careful with it because I really like it and what it grows into. Something else I've been buying, brought online, got quite a few of these Spanish mosses. Pardon me again. Like I say, trying to add as much interest as I can, so I've been hanging them from certain plants, group planting them to try and get a little bit more interest, and I'm starting to like the look of it. Right, let's go back. Probably not my most informative video, but I was really happy with these plants and I thought I'd want to show them off here. A few of these plants, so the ground covering ones and the ferns and the Taiwan silver there, I'm buying these because I'm pretty much thinking ahead to where I may be putting possibly my pond that I might be putting in here, and that's also what the Jersey is for, to go into this area as well. So really, you know, I'm getting the plants well before I'm thinking about even digging the hole. But I like buying plants, so why wouldn't I? Okay, I'm going to leave it at that because I feel like I've been yabbering on way too long. Thank you very much for watching. Any questions? I'm probably not the best person to ask because these nearly all quite new to me, but hopefully you like them. Give us a like if you want. See you next time.